Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to turn one of the most common everyday errands into your own personal English language gym. That's right, we're talking about the grocery store, and we're going to get you ready to master it with total confidence.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a grocery store? You have your list, you know what you need, but suddenly, the lights, the sounds, the endless rows of stuff, it just feels overwhelming. The signs feel like they're in a secret code, you're not quite sure how to ask for help, and even just buying a carton of milk feels, well, awkward. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are definitely not alone.
But what if we could just flip that feeling completely on its head? Well, that is exactly what this explainer is all about. We're going to reframe that entire trip. We're going to turn the grocery store from a place of stress into your secret English classroom, a place where every aisle, every sign, and every little interaction is a chance to get better. So, let's get started. I want you to think of this differently. We are not just going shopping today. Oh no. We are embarking on a mission. And your objective isn't just to buy food. It's to build your fluency, your confidence, and your power to communicate, one grocery item at a time. Every successful mission needs a plan, right? So here is our mission briefing. It's a simple 3-step strategy. First, we're going to decode the environment, learn the language of the store itself. Second, we'll practice asking for help with confidence. And third, we will master the final challenge, the checkout. You ready? Let's go. All right, mission objective 1, decode the environment. Before you can really navigate the store like a pro, you got to speak its language. We're talking about those essential signs and labels that you're going to see everywhere. Mastering these is the absolute foundation for your confidence. First up, a really important word, aisle. Now, look at how it's spelled. See that S in there? It's completely silent. You pronounce it aisle. It sounds exactly like the words aisle, as in, I'll see you later. An aisle is just that long pathway between all the shelves. So when you hear someone say, the pasta is in aisle 3, you'll know exactly where to go. Okay, so as soon as you walk in, you've got a choice to make. If you're doing a big shop for the whole week, you're going to want to grab a cart. That's the large wheeled container you push around. You might also hear this called a trolley, especially in British English. But if you're just popping in for a few things, look for a basket. That's the small one you carry in your hand. Getting the right one is your first little win. So you've got everything, and you're ready to pay. You're going to the checkout. That's the name for the whole area. At the checkout, the cashier, that's the person, will scan your items at the cash register, which is the machine. So here's a simple way to remember it. The cashier, who is a person, uses the cash register, which is a machine, in the checkout area. And now for the good stuff, phrases that can actually save you money. You're going to see signs with BOGO. That's short for buy one, get one free. It's a great deal. 2 for 1 is basically the same thing. You pay the price for one, but you get to take 2 of them. And of course, if something is on sale, it just means it's got a special, cheaper price for a little while. So keep your eyes open for these. Now, on the shelf, you'll often see 2 kinds of the same item. You've got the brand name, which is the product made by a famous company you've probably heard of, but right next to it, you'll probably find the generic or store brand version. That's the store's own product, and you know what? It's usually cheaper. The choice is all yours. Okay, this next one is absolutely crucial. Seriously. For your health and safety, you must always check the expiration date. Sometimes it's called the best before date. You'll find it stamped on fresh things like milk, yogurt, or packaged meat. This little date tells you the last day that food is safe to eat or at its best quality. Making this a habit is one of the most important things you can do when you shop.
Fantastic.
You have decoded the environment. You know the lingo. Now it's time for mission objective 2, asking for help. This is where we move from reading to speaking. And I get it, this can feel intimidating, but we're going to arm you with a few simple, powerful phrases that will make you sound natural, polite, and totally confident.
If you only learn one single phrase for asking for help, please make it this one. This is the perfect all-purpose question. You start with a polite, "Excuse me," to get an employee's attention. Then you just ask, "Where can I find the," and say what you're looking for. Let's try it. "Excuse me, where can I find the olive oil?" It's simple, it's polite, and it works every single time.
All right, here is a pro-level tip. What do you do if the shelf where your item is supposed to be is completely empty? Don't just give up. Find an employee and ask this very, very useful question. Are there any more in the back? The back just means the stockroom, where they keep all the extra products. And you'd be surprised. Very often, they do have more. And this simple question is all it takes to get it. So you ask your question. What are they going to say back to you? Let's decode the most common answers. They might say, "It's in aisle 7, on the right." Great, you know exactly where to go. They might say, "Sorry, we're out of stock." That's also useful information. It just means it's all sold out, so you can stop looking. Or they might point you to a landmark, like, "It's over by the dairy section." Then you just look for the big signs for milk and cheese. These are the 3 answers you'll hear most of the time. You did it. You've gathered your items. You've navigated the aisles. You are ready for the final objective, mastering the checkout. Now, I know this can feel like the final boss battle of your shopping trip, but it's actually a very simple, very predictable conversation. Let's break it down. You know, no matter where you are in the world, the checkout conversation almost always follows the same 4 easy steps. It starts with a simple greeting. Then there's usually a question about bags. After that, you pay. And it all ends with a polite goodbye. That's it. Once you see this simple pattern, it becomes way less stressful. You will almost definitely hear this question in the United States. Paper or plastic? The cashier is just asking what kind of bag you want for your groceries. You can just answer with your choice. Plastic, please, or paper is fine, thanks. And a really great simple answer is, I brought my own, thank you, if you have your own bags. When it's time to pay, the cashier will tell you the total. They might say something like, "Your total is $19.20. This is a fantastic moment for a little listening practice. Look at the number on the cash register screen and at the same time, listen to how the cashier says it. It's a perfect way to connect the written numbers to the spoken numbers in real time. And finally, the goodbye. The cashier will almost always end with a friendly phrase like, "Have a great day," or maybe something more casual like, "Have a good one." You do not need a complicated response here. A simple, warm, "You too," is absolutely perfect. Or you could say, "Thanks, you as well." It's just a really easy, positive way to end the whole interaction. So, we've covered the vocabulary, the questions, and the checkout conversation. But the real learning doesn't happen here, just watching this explainer. The real power comes from putting it all into practice. From now on, I want you to see the grocery store as something more. It is your personal training ground for real-world English. So, I have one last mission for you. On your very next trip to the store, I want you to choose just one new phrase that we learned today. Just one. Practice saying it out loud at home, maybe in the mirror, then go use it at the store. And afterwards, just take a second to think about how it felt. This simple cycle, practice, use, reflect. That is the secret to building real fluency. So let's end with this really powerful idea. The next time you walk into that store and grab a cart, I want you to remember, you're not just buying groceries. You are taking control of your language journey. You are actively building your fluency. You are gaining confidence, and you are building real-life English power.
So, I'll leave you with this final question to think about. What's the first phrase you'll use on your next mission? Pick one, own it, and then go make it happen. Your English classroom is waiting. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.